Today we are going to do chapters. Well, actually, this book doesn't really have chapters like chapter 1 or chapter 2 or chapter 3. It's not like that, but we will finish. So basically, it's like this. Like chapters names are like things that smell or things that get lost. So basically, those are the things. The chapters names. Okay, the chapter names. So we are just going to read, we're just going to actually, because there's no chapter numbers, I'm just going to say, we're going to finish chapter, actually, things you keep secret. I keep on thinking about chapter something because, you know, like, I've read a lot of, like, chapter books with numbers, but I really actually like these titles, too. So if you can't remember things you keep secret, because all of them are like things that you sneak up to you, things that bounce, things that smell, and white thing. Well, we don't have to do that, and things that stain, and things that get tangled. So if you can't remember this, then just remember that we are stopping. I'll just give you the page number that we're stopping at, and that's page 53. Once you read page 53, then you're complete for this video, and you can just go on to the other, and you can just go on to the next video. And this book is a very, very good book. It's an awesome book. I really, really, really love it. And this has won a Newbery Honor, and I'm pretty sure that it has won other awards, but a Newbery Honor is just a Newbery Honor, and it's just like, this is like the only award you need to know for this book. It's a very famous book, and I hope that you enjoy it. When You Reach Me is by Rebecca Stead, and this book is for when you finish reading those this part of the book, because I don't want you to be like, I don't want you to like not know about the book and do this video, because this video is for people who have already read the book. So I'm just going to go through the chapters, and I'm going to just ask you questions. So remember that today is sort of going to be like, let's just say that today I'm just going to ask you a lot about what do you think about this character. And the reason I'm doing this is because I'm going to compare, so you can compare what do you think about the characters when you just have started the book and just read only to page 53, and then compare it to when you finish the whole book. I want to see if what you think about them are different or still the same. It's very funny and interesting on how you think about it before and after you've read a book. Anyway, this is the first thing that comes up, and it's called The Most Beautiful Experience We Have is the Mysterious, Albert Einstein. The World as I See It, 1931. So I'm pretty sure this comes from a book that Albert Einstein actually made. Anyway, for right now, okay, so let's start the book. The first chapter is called Things You Keep in a Box. So, first of all, I really want to ask you about this. What do you think about Miranda? Okay? Because Miranda is the narrator of this book. And also, what do you think when she said like your last proof, or like about you, or not me, but like she was like, I checked the box under my bed. This is right here, page 1, okay? So right here, page 1. Anyway, which is where I've kept your notes these past few months. There it is in your tiny handwriting. And you can see that I'm really saying your, like, you know, I'm really like saying it more harder than the other words. And really, your. It's not like me. So she has to be writing something, right, to someone else. And then it was like letter, right? She was supposed to write a letter. And someone is asking her to write a letter. So think about that really hard, and let's see what we can come up with this, okay? Okay, anyway, why do you think that the chapters are all things that are like things like things you keep in a box, or like things that go missing, or like things you keep secret, or things that sneak up on you, or things that stain, or I don't know, like let's see, another one is like things you wish for, or like things that get tangled, and things that kick. Why do you think it's like that? And if you really know, then maybe you can really understand why these chapter names are like this. So right now, this book is really mysterious in a way, because nobody knows what she's talking about for right now, and she doesn't know either, right? So right now, you're going to going to have to look for clues. So we are going to look at the words a little more to see if there's meanings in those words. Also, now you know what the most beautiful experience we can have is mysterious. This book, there's a mysterious character, the you, right? It's not us, but it's someone else she's writing to. Anyway, do you think that Sal is a good or bad character? Why or why not? Do you think that Sal is good or bad? You might be thinking all different things. You might think that Sal is bad because he abandoned Miranda, or you might think that he's good for some other reason. Like, I think that maybe Sal could be good for the reason that maybe that it wasn't his fault, and maybe he was a very good person. You can see this in all different ways, and this is your opinion. Also, the boy who punched Sal, after that, he was suddenly like, and after that, he didn't harass Miranda, and he was like, and he talked to Miranda and all that. So why do you think he didn't even be like, hey, you're the girl with that boy, and then tried to punch Miranda too? Why didn't he do that? And if you don't know about that, what that's happening, because for right now, in this part of the book, we all don't know, but just make some guesses. And also, the book that Miranda really likes, this is just a quick comment, is like that with Meg and Camazotz and all that, like how she keeps on reading it and how Miranda keeps on reading it like that. Well, actually, that book is a very, very, very famous book. It's probably won a lot of awards. Maybe even the Newbery Honor. Actually, it did win the Newbery Honor. So it's an awesome book. And I have a video, and I will have a video out about that book. It might already be out. But for right now, I don't have that book. But we will. I'll try to make some videos about the book as soon as possible. Anyway, A Wrinkle in Time is what she really liked. And anyway, so if you really read this, and after you've read A Wrinkle in Time, it's not like the best way to introduce yourself to the book, because even though you do want to read it, it sort of spoils the story. But A Wrinkle in Time is a great book, and there will be things that are not mentioned in here. There's a lot of things that aren't mentioned in here. So the book is still great. You'll love it. You'll really, really love it. I read it and I loved it. Anyway, back to the book. So this book is an awesome book, and one thing that I thought that was very interesting was how the boy, Marcus, the boy who punched Sal, thought about A Wrinkle in Time. He was like, that's impossible, because they would have seen themselves in the broccoli because they came back 5 minutes before they went on their trip. And Miranda was like, how can a trip end before even the middle? So it's before even it started. And was it like they didn't know if they would come back or not? Well, they did come back. And when I first read this, I was just like scratching my head, and I was like, what does it mean? But if you really think about it, it is actually logical. And I would have never thought of it, but it is logical. So, also, I just want to ask you something else. What do you think Miranda thinks about herself being named after a criminal? And also, what do you think about, what do you think about Julia, that show-offy girl? Do you think that she is a little too show-offy, or if she's a very nice girl? And also, do you think, I just want to say that Julia, you can make a guess, an inference that she's like stinking rich. I know, stinking rich. It's not the best thing to say, but she really is rich. And the reason it says, you know that because she goes to far off places, and then she comes back with sometimes 3 gold rings on her finger and all that. And she's always so mean. To Alice, Alice in the book, and she was she even though they were in 6th grade, Alice never mentioned that she had to go to the bathroom until she really, really, really needed to go. And then Julia and the other girls would be hey, what about the math test? What was the answer? And then Alice would be oh my god, I need to go to the bathroom, but she can't say that because it would be embarrassing. So even when she was oh my gosh, I need to go to the bathroom, Julia and the others, she had to explain. So, yeah, you can make a lot of inferences that Julia isn't kind. Julia is very rich, and because she doesn't even deserve to be rich, you can call her stinking rich. And finally, and yeah, also do not say that a lot. Just say that when someone is a very bad person. But even just try not to say that. Okay, but stinking rich really does cover it up. Anyway, so you know how like it said in the book, latchkey child? Well, I know what a latchkey child is, and you probably know too. And you can probably tell by like all the things that Miranda does that you do know like what a latchkey child is. But if you don't, it's basically someone who like, well, they don't use this term now often, but they once did like in the 1960s and 70s, because this book is actually in the 1960s and 70s, because like if you look, see, like it says right here, you can really make that it is in 1979, because like the postcard for when they should come, when the mom should come, Miranda's mom, I mean, should come to the 20,000 pyramid. It was like it's like April 27th, 1979. I also want to say some things about the Red Pyramid. Do you know what the Red Pyramid is? It's actually like a TV show, an old TV show. Anyway, I'll give you a few more questions. Well, number one is, why do you think that Sal sort of like had a break from being friends with Miranda? And number two is, do you think that what did you think about Marcus? And if you were with Marcus and you were Miranda, and Marcus was the kid who punched Sal, and Marcus was like talking to you, and like you had to bring Marcus to the dentist's office, what would you do? Would you really like freak out and run for your life? Or would you, the first second you got, the first chance, the first second you got, you would just punch him right in the nose? Lots of options. And then there's a lot of other things. So what did you think about Marcus? And what would you do if you were in Miranda's place? It's actually a very interesting thing to think about. And also, did you think that the person do you think that that person is Miranda's age or an adult? I know, it's like, what does this have to do with the story? I know, it's really like that, but the thing is, like, you know, like how you have to think about it, because it's just very interesting to think about it that way, to think about if it's a man or a woman, or if it's a girl or a boy. It's just very interesting. So you can really make that out. And what do you think about the laughing man, or, you know, who sleeps like with his head under the mailbox? What do you think about him? And what would you do if you had to walk by him every day? Would you freak out, or would you be really friendly to him? Do you think that we still use a pocket shoe these days? Or do you think that they use a pocket shoe at all? And the second thing I want to say is that Richard tells Miranda about the pocket shoe. So what do you think about him? And even though you don't meet him a lot, just say one word to describe him, okay? Anyway, like, I really just want to say that Richard is German, right? So he's German, and he was the person who made up the latchkey thing. And now speaking about Richard and Miranda, what were they doing with their mother? What were they doing? And another one is this. Do you think that if you were a latchkey child, what would you do to pass the time? But since these are really just your questions, things about you, I'll talk some more things about the book. And one thing is, do you think that Anna Marie, Julia's friend, is also rich? And why do you think that Julia is Anna Marie's friend? What do you think? This is this is actually really about the book. I have to say that. And also, like, this thing that, you know, like, about that. Do you think that it's because of that? Because, like, and when I'm saying that, you know what I'm talking about, right? Anna Marie is, well, blank. You should think about that. But after this video is finished, well, not after, of course, but like before the video is finished, I'll just give you a little hint about that. So, but just don't like skip over to the end of the video and then come back, okay? Because this actually is a very good point, and sometimes, you know, like thinking about books can be very, 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 very fun. Anyway, do you think that Marcus is a genius? And the reason I'm asking you this is because, like, if you didn't like Marcus, then you wouldn't call him a genius. You would just be like, no, he's not a genius. He only knows things. That doesn't mean he's a genius, because if you don't like him, or you might be like, I don't like him at all, and he's not a genius either. So, for today, it will be a lot of opinion questions. From then on, I will put some more, like, just questions, but right now, you know, like, the thing is, we just started the book, so it will still be a lot of opinion questions throughout the video series, and next time we can really have fun too. And also, one hint about it is, think about Anna Marie's house. This is for the question about Anna Marie. What do you think about, you know, like, why do you think Julia is friends with Anna Marie and not friends with anyone else? Well, she is friends, but, you know, like, Anna Marie is sort of the most, you know, like the best friend. Anyway, I really want you to enjoy the book and read some more, and I'll meet you in the next video.